What's going on, guys? Welcome back to our Let's Play here on the Bedrock edition. I almost forgot what my intro was then for a second. Sort of drew a blank as I pressed the record button. We've got a drowned just hanging about near our base and he's really been bugging me. Yeah, come on. There you go. Now, if you're wondering how comes I've got 52 levels on me, it's because I've just spent a very long time over at our double mob spawner XP farm. I was repairing a load of pickaxes and shovels that I've been using for digging out the new, I think it's the Penta spawner, which is I think the name we're going for with it. But as you can see, we're still suffering from severe lag in this area, very framey, and I think I may have found the reason why. What was that noise? Okay. Yeah, I think I may have figured out the reason why, and it is, I'm hoping, because of this. Our industrial size kelp farm is not currently working because items are no longer flowing upwards in downwards flowing water. That although the plants are still growing and breaking, as you can see, they're doing it all over the gaff here. They're now just sitting there, and beforehand when the hoppers filled up they used to just overflow into the lava and they got rid of it, but at the moment we've got thousands of entities just sitting there doing nothing. Which means I've had to come up with a fix for this problem, and I'm just going to do the first fix for you. I'm just going to do one section with you guys on camera, just in case you have decided to build the same type of farm and wondering how to fix it. What we need to do is stop all of this running water. Thank you. And then that should slow that down. And you know what would be quicker is if we actually got our shovel on us. There we go. In my haste to start recording, I may have forgotten to get some signs on us. So instead of them sitting on top of the packed ice, we're actually going to be running them along here. And I'll show you why after I finish running them. Okay, through the magic of editing, we've managed to finally get all of the signs back in place. I had to actually get some out and do a little bit of crafting. Now, we are going to also be needing soul sand for this fix. So, what we're going to want to do is on this first line here, break all of these. And then on every other line, so that one and that one as well. What we're going to be doing is replacing the dirt with soul sand, so let me jump ahead and do that. Okay, as you can see, we finally managed to get all of our soul sand in place, so it starts from the front line and then it's every other line on the way back. It is going to be cutting our yield of kelp in half completely for the farm, but this farm was way overproducing for what we need it for anyway. But after doing this, if I could sort out my inventory while bouncing, we want to get a layer of dirt directly above this, so this is not going to be easy, is it? If we actually just walk on the kelp blocks and not the soul sand, and then we can just run along, there we go. That is a lot easier. So yeah, we want to just basically fill in this directly. Oh, and there I am back on soul sand. Awesome. Can I just get on the kelp? Thank you. And there we go. Now, can we get up high enough from... No, we can't. Okay, fine. Let's get our ender pearls back out. Yeah, I threw away all of the kelp that I picked up, and already I've managed to pick up another stack from this thing. But I'm going to quickly fill this in with dirt, and we'll take the next step from there. Alright, now that it's back to daytime and we've got all of our dirt layer laid down. There we go. We are going to actually need some ice, which we have actually got ready. So, what we then want to do is do a layer of ice along here. And then you want this exactly to be 8 blocks up until the top of the signs, because we want the water actually running over the top of the sign itself. And then we can break these. So hopefully that is 8. Yep, I didn't miscalculate that. And that should all run along there nicely. And then what we want to do is actually take up this dirt very carefully. Oh, am I breaking plants? I don't think I am. I think we're good. Oh, I'm breaking all the soul sand, aren't I? Oh, it's all going wrong. Let me see, how can we fix this? Soul sand, soul sand. Can I get some soul sand? There we go. Hopping up. Get lost, will ya? Yeah, I am breaking plants as well, but, oh, okay. I can replace the plants. I've got more than enough on me. We really don't want to go breaking the soul sand. Now, the reason how comes I'm doing this from top to bottom is purely for this reason. It will mess up the water flow below, but when you're working on the one below, you can't possibly mess up the water flow from the one on top. So always work from top to bottom if you're doing this fix. Okay, out. Okay. Okay. I finally managed to get the rest of the kelp in, managed to replace the soul sand that I messed up. And now, as you can see, what happens when they break off, they sort of, now and again you will get one that will directly break off and just stay on the plant on top. But then when another one sort of grows, it pushes it over onto the soul sand. And then you get this nice little bouncing effect that it does. And it sort of bounces up to the top of the flowing water. And then it sort of just bounces along the top from soul sand patch to soul sand patch. Now, obviously, the yield of it is going to be cut in half. Our lava has turned into obsidian. Why did I not remove that? Because I had a really bad feeling that was going to happen anyway. Yeah. But this is the fix for it. I'm not going to take up an entire episode, you watching me having to redo the entire farm again. But if you're wondering how you can do an industrial size kelp farm still, although it's half the yield for the same amount of room, it is the easiest fix that I could find for doing this farm. And yeah, I really didn't want to have to like tear out the entire thing to then rebuild it all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually get this fix done in between cuts, and I'll bring you back to start working on which will hopefully be our new turtle sanctuary. So yeah, back in a bit. Okay, so I've managed to finally get all of the fixes in for all three sides of... all three sides? No, that's incorrect. For all three levels for either side in. I did have a little bit of trouble doing the bottom layers because none of them are lit up. And yeah, there was actually drowned mobs that were standing along the bottom layers. But already, just being around here now, still next to the farm, you are getting a little bit framey. Nothing near what I was getting. But that's because it's rendering all the bubble particles coming from the soul sand when you're up this close. Down in the man cave, I've got all my frames back. I'm very, very happy with it. Now, if you're wondering about the fire down there, I've actually just lit the obsidian. That water turned the lava into obsidian and into cobblestone. I just lit that on fire, and I'm just leaving the fire destroy the excess items that are now dropping down there. Because our furnace system isn't actually currently turned on, all of them hoppers are completely full. So yeah, it's just I've just been picking up absolutely tons of kelp, and all of it's pretty much going to waste. This farm is only actually needed when the furnace system's running, so I wish there was a way of me actually switching off the farm, but unfortunately it's one of these farms that just run, because you can initiate a farm using pistons for kelp, but it would be a waste of redstone, considering that if you just look at it now, you can see that it's very rare that there won't be a piece of kelp heading towards them hoppers at any one point. And that is with the farm now halved in the amount of actual plants it's got. That is the rare occurrence that is happening though, which is just over here. Now, I don't understand, when it grows to too high and it fails to break off, it will then leave this gap, and it happened to me on that side over there. But even with that gap there, and another gap further up, and another gap further up for the back one, the water was still running all the way just past the, well, just up to the actual packed ice. and the stuff was still flying up and over, so I'm not going to be too concerned about that. I did fix it when it happened on that side, just to sort of smooth it out because I didn't like the look of it. But it didn't actually affect the productivity, but I will have to keep an eye on it, I do think, just to make sure, because if every single plant does that at one point or another, I'm not too sure how that would affect it, because as you can see at the moment, the water is now flowing into that one spot, because there's a weird little thing that's happening with the soul sand. When you're putting it underneath water that is flowing downwards on top of it, it is then creating water source blocks above it. So how can I explain that better? Give a demonstration. We grab some soul sand, some ice as well. So if we bust down a couple of blocks, just say over here. Now what is happening is, just say we've got our soul sand at the bottom, just there, and then we have water flowing down on top of it, but we're going to need a block to break the ice on. So if we do that, oh my god, what is wrong with me? Can I've now not got a block, have I? There we go. We'll use some cobblestone. We'll go in Pete Tong at the moment. Okay, so we'll break the ice, and then we'll break the cobblestone. Now, when that water's flowing down, there should technically be 2 spots there now of water that is flowing down, which is then hitting the soul sand. But what's happening in the farm is that when the water's flowing down onto the soul sand is creating water source blocks. So if I was to then say, you know what, just give me some dirt please, thank you. If I was to break this, you've still got a water source block that wasn't there before. And then if I was to get rid of that one, you've still got the one at the bottom. So that soul sand has now created 2 source blocks of water for whatever reason, I don't know. I'm assuming that that's a bug, but that is what is actually causing the plants to be able to grow up to 2 high, and will potentially manage to break this farm again. But moving on from that, because I have had enough fun and games trying to fix stuff, and I've not actually really had the opportunity to enjoy this update as of yet. Now if you're wondering how comes my fire is still burning over there, I've got fire spreads off. It means that wherever you set fire, fire is persistent. It will neither spread nor distinguish by itself. So you can light any block on fire and it will remain on fire forever, which is happy days. So I can just light whatever blocks I want. Now I've got it switched off purely for decoration purposes. I tend to use fire as sources of lighting in certain builds. So yeah, hate me if you want for doing that. It may be against the whole survival aspect, but I really like the look of fire lighting in certain situations without it burning down my entire builds. But let me grab my crafting table and break half a ton of blocks off. I've got to grab me ender pearl chest. Thank you. Let's get away from this lag machine for now anyway. That's enough of the kelp farm. Now also, if you're wondering how comes I've still got the England flags flying high, although that they did unfortunately got knocked out by Croatia. I'm going to keep them flying high up until the tournament itself ends, which is Sunday. We are playing Belgium on Saturday, which I'm still looking forward to, although that we were knocked out by Croatia. We was 1-0 up, then 2-1 down. It was a very sad day for me, but yes, I'm going to keep them flying high just purely because we've got to go against Belgium to get the 3rd place sort of spot as the world rankings go, and for us to make it into a semi-finals with such a young squad that like half of the actual current English squad has never won any major tournament trophies in their careers as of yet, which means it would be extremely unlikely that any of their first medals should actually be a World Cup trophy. It was just like one of them shot in a blue moon sort of chance things. But yeah, now we actually really want to get cracking on because I'm wasting a lot of time talking. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tear out all of this aquamarine words. Come on, aquamarine garbage up here, and I'm going to make a room that sort of molds in well better with our man cave design, and sort of remove some of these coral blocks from the ceiling. I'm going to do like a little sand, just make it like a little sanctuary area, move our world map. I don't know where I'm going to move it to, but I may just keep it there actually and just build around it sort of thing. Yeah, I'll do that. But yeah, I'm going to get all of that stuff done off camera so then we can start playing around with the turtles. And that came out sounding really, really bad. But yeah, I'll catch you back in a minute. And we are back. Now, I've been quite busy building the new turtle sanctuary. Like I see, I've ripped out all the aquamarine garbage and I've sort of just done a sort of cave type shape, but I had a load of the dead coral where I was harvesting it back up with the wrong pickaxe. And so I decided to throw that in because it's grey, it's a different texture. I'm not too sure if I like it or not. But yeah, I thought I'd throw it in just to sort of break up the plainness of just the stone. We've got a bit of andesite and we've got our cobblestone half slabs just to sort of do different variations to it. I kept the map over there where it was because I couldn't be asked to take it off the wall and replace it again. So there's still aquamarine sitting behind that map. But yeah, also this is the second time that I've attempted to record this clip. Oh, by the way, the word that I was looking for this sort of pool design is a moon pool. It was not an infinity pool. So, yeah, it's like where you get entrance to the aquarium and then you go back out sort of thing. But this is hopefully where the turtles can come back up onto the beach, wander around and go into the water as and when they please. Now, the reason that this is the second time that I've attempted to record it is because I didn't realise just how long turtle eggs take to hatch. Now, the one on the left, I put down no word of a lie about 40 to 45 minutes ago. That one I put down about 20 or so minutes ago. And as you can see by the variations of the cracks in the actual turtle egg, this one's cracked twice, that one's cracked once. So I think they need to crack 3 times before they hatch. But also, whilst we're sort of waiting around for that thing to do its thing, the main thing that we also want turtles for is for breeding them for the eggs in order to get, I think they're called sculptor shells or something. It's basically an item that drops when a baby turtle turns into a full grown turtle. It drops its shell and then you can make the helmet out of it. And you can also use it for brewing a potion called, I think it's the Turtle Master Potion, which gives you like resistance 3 or resistance 4 or something crazy. It also gives you the slowness effect though, but it's a decent trade-off. I think it might be a good potion to actually fight the Wither with. But while we wait for that to do its thing, as you can see my level dropped down to 17. I lost my Riptide 3, trident. So I remade a new one with Impaling 5 Riptide 3. And I don't know how I managed to lose it. But yeah, it's nowhere to be found. But while we're waiting for that to do its thing, I've sort of dug out a little cubby hole over here because I actually want to build a sort of a hatchery area for turtles. So I don't know why I put that in there. I was meant to be taking these guys out. So let me see what we can do with this. Let's get our redstone boxes down, shall we? Because we're going to be needing them. And I've got both of them out because I don't know which one's in which items. So we're going to want a hopper collection system. So if we get some sand, say put some sand here, some sand there. Then we're going to want some rails. Get some normal rails and maybe some redstone blocks. And then let's get both our powered rails on our hotbar, shall we? So a powered rail there because we are probably going to put a lever there because we don't want this rail running all of the time. But then we can just break, say, a couple of these blocks out and maybe that one. Yeah, I think that works. And we get our redstone blocks, throw these into here, and then we can run powered, normal. Oh, really? You're gonna do that to me? I hate rails when they automatically try to connect the powered one, so I'm gonna have to extend that one for a second. Run this one round, like so. Let's do a couple. Run it round, and then powered up to there. We can then re-break this, get our sand on our hotbar, thank you. I love the fact that pick block is now working in survival Minecraft. It does tend to make building a lot easier. Now we should just be able to place sand directly above the rails. Nice. So if we do a little something like that, and you know what I've forgotten to do? Yep, I've forgotten to actually do our collection system. Go me. Have we got any chests anywhere? Chests. That one. We only want 2. And maybe some hoppers. Yeah, I've got tons of hoppers now. It's pretty much the only thing my iron tends to be spent on is hoppers. Now if we do something like that, grab our chests, throw that down to there. Because obviously I don't want to have to babysit the baby turtles constantly, waiting for them to drop the sculpt shell things. So what I'm planning on doing is having some breeding turtles in that little pinned up area there, which is them 2 eggs, and then the other eggs I'll just throw up here. They can hatch and then hopefully automatically collect. Oh my god, again with this stupid powered rail connecting. And yeah, of course that happened. Why wouldn't it? So, one run. Oh my god, it's just... Oh, Minecraft. There we go. So, powered, thank you. Powered, thank you. Sand, thank you, and thank you. And then we can do something like that. I'm not too sure if I'm liking the way this is looking. What is that sound? Oh. Great, awesome. So now I'm getting these guys spawning in my water. Get lost. Okay. Is there enough one down there? Is there? That's a fish. Any more guys down here? No. I think we're good. Okay. Let's crack back on with this thing. Now, if we take out another, say, a little bit of a stone layer just up there. We're going to need a minecart from somewhere. Got any minecarts anywhere, guys? Nope. But luckily, we are close enough to our storage room. So let's just hop over here. Grab some iron. We only need 5. Let's make, oh nope, wrong chest. Minecart, and then a hopper minecart. Now, hopefully this, is that going to look, it doesn't look too bad, as long as I think we whack some sort of sandstone half slabs above it. It shouldn't look too bad, because you shouldn't be able to see the rails too much then. So if we get our hopper minecart and put it just there. Gotta make sure this is all working first, so that will go off and do its rounds. And then if we want it switched off, and it's not glitching in or through that block, which is perfect. So have we got a crafting table that we can get our hands on? Oh god. Whenever I do work on camera, my inventory just gets slammed with garbage. Okay, so get some sandstone half slabs. Do a little 1 and a 2. And then how wide is this? 1, 2. Yeah, that should be fine. And have we got any fences? Oh yeah, we have. Happy days. And then maybe just whack some fences along here, so then the turtles can't get out anywhere. And that could be just our little sort of hatchery breedery area. We've got a couple of the lights now. Also, a thing to take into account with the turtle eggs is that mobs will try to trample them. That's like their main aim, which gives me good ideas as to how we can chauffeur mobs around in our new sort of mega spawner that we're making. If you're wondering how comes I've got a clock next to me just here, it's because I wanted to see how many Minecraft days it takes these things to hatch. I didn't bother putting a timer on it. I did start recording, and after about 25 minutes they hadn't hatched. I thought, well, I might as well wait and just see what happens. But we should actually have some more turtle eggs to throw into our hatchery area. We go over here, we've got 4 more sitting over here. And as you can tell, we've actually got the majority of our frames back in this area now. And I think that's purely because we got rid of half of our kelp farm initially. So, do I want to throw them all onto the same block, or do you reckon I should just throw them on their individual ones? I think individual's fine because there's more than enough room for them then. I heard another crack. Okay, so the second one has cracked twice and the first one's cracked once. But yeah, that's our little egg hatchery type area deal. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to hang about for these guys to probably all hatch up, and I'm probably not going to leave it recording, so I may not catch them actually hatching. But the main thing that I was worried about is that if they needed direct access to the sky, it turns out that they do not, because they are currently... Is it daytime? Yeah, it's just becoming morning. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, you definitely don't need sky access for the eggs to hatch. So, initially I was thinking, oh, am I going to have to dig a hole out all the way to the surface? That's not the case. You also don't need darkness. Apparently people are saying that they only hatch at night. But I think it's just a day-night cycle of Minecraft that they actually acquire to. And I think it's a 3-day and night cycle that they need to go through before they can hatch. But yeah, just in case you're wondering, they do hatch in cave systems like this. So if you want to set up your own sort of system. But what I'll do, I'll wait for all of these guys to hatch and then I'll bring you back. Alright then guys, it's only been around about 10-15 minutes since that last clip, and as you can see we've got 2 baby turtles, which I found extraordinarily weird. Not the fact that we've got 2 turtles, but the fact that they hatched pretty much at the exact same time. Now one of them was placed down about 40 minutes before the other one, so as to how or why they both hatched at the exact same time, I have no idea. But our other 4, 2 of them have cracked once already, while the other 2 at the back have not. So I'm starting to think that there is no standard set time for them to hatch, and that it's just completely random. So yeah, I think it's like probably every 1,000 game ticks that the egg will have a chance to crack, and the ones that take longer obviously miss that chance, and then it'll go on to the next 1,000 ticks, it'll try again. If it doesn't succeed, and so it will then just lead to a random sort of cracking chance. But because these 2 hatch at the exact same time, I'm assuming that the cracking odds happen on the same sort of tick schedule, which means that when one of these cracks, just say that one cracked now, yep, but we're still waiting for that one, and all 4 of these were laid down at the exact same time. But I'm assuming that when these 2 crack, or when one cracks, they will either both crack at the same time as that one, so that one may even catch up on the next cycle, or that one may crack 3 times before the rest of these 3 have finished cracking. Yep, I'm saying cracking a lot. But we've got a couple of baby sea turtles. Apparently if you feed these guys seagrass, they grow up quicker. And really? Stop jumping, guy. Are you... Hello? Guy. Apparently if you feed them 10 bits of seagrass, they grow up instantly. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so it's 8, and we've got our first scoop shell. Yay! How many times do I have to feed this guy? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's 8 times the seagrass, and they grow up instantly. Hey guy, can you come back? Come on. Can they make it back through a one wide gate? Wait. Come here. I don't think they can actually make it through a one-way gate. Oh, stupid sea turtle. Okay, come back in here. I want you in here so then I can breed these guys and then start hatching the eggs. I'll hatch a few on the outside of this fence area, and then the rest of the eggs I'll throw into our little hatchery area. So let's put you there, and let's get our fence back, put you there, and then we should just be able to breed these two. And then they have a chance of laying between 1 and 4 eggs, I do believe. So change that. We've got our 2 first little scoot shells. Happy days. We need 5 for the helmet. This one's now going to go off and do its egg laying thing. And anytime today, turtle. Oh, are you done? Can I see the eggs, please? Or are they just going to sit on the eggs? Apparently you can trample the eggs yourself as well, so don't go standing on them. Can I nudge you? There we go. Okay, so it was just 1 egg that time, and we should be able to pick it up with Silk Touch. And then this one we're just going to throw somewhere around here on the outside, and that can then do its thing. But I'm going to wait for these guys to hatch up, and when they hatch up I'm going to have our little minecart system running. That will start collecting our scoot shells for us. When these guys are ready to breed up, I'll carry on doing that. Now hopefully by the next episode I will have enough scoot shells for us to make the turtle helmet and to test out the new turtle potion to see what that's all about. But yeah, that's going to be it for me today. Hopefully you've enjoyed today's episode, and I'll hopefully see you all in the next one. Bye bye.